Live from Port St. Lucie, Florida, home of the only Club Med, the entire United States of America. This is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, aspirational, international, keenly awaited, daily created, highly anticipated edition of the Afternoon Swing Trading Floor with your humble host, Jeremy Alexander Newsom, with another daily dose of mentally delicious brain food, reminding each of you to love life, live life, and trade it. David Webb is in the building, and so is my boy Charles March, my good friend Bob, Bill, Arabia, Albert, Donna. Bob says good morning, good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are, from wherever it is the time of the world. Welcome to be here. Thanks for being here. Graham's in Georgia. In Georgia, it is 5 o'clock right now, 5:01 Eastern. Glau says good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thanks for being here. Julian, how's it going? Santosh, Scott McKay. Jason Smith says, haven't been in here for a while. Dude, love having you here. Look at this energy. It's always so good, right? Fired up. All righty, so let's do this. Jason's here because he wants to know what the market's going to do tomorrow, because he says I've been right for 4 days in a row, which I've been lucky. I did not expect today specifically. What a great gap on the SPY. This was very, very pretty. So at open, we were down about 1%, which is a good gap, right? We have plenty of room to go. We talked about it in depth yesterday, mentioned the pressure is building and there's a lot that could happen. And we gapped down in a big way. I mean, pretty much at open, we gapped down, we ran. If you turn on the pre-market, this was just a beautiful, beautiful move on the SPY, bearish. Trade down into the previous low of the day, right? So it's got absolutely wrecked early on. Again, this was a bearish gap and go, very strong bearish gap and go, one that had plenty of room to continue. It retested and then just creamed lower most of the day. So that was SPY. And then late in the day, this is an interesting little stat that Hung Lao threw in here into the chat pane. Hung Lao said, back tested with the program, and it seems that since April 2018, if the SPY moves more than 0.5%, opening a fade 45 minutes before close would be a profitable strategy. So that's pretty cool. I think that's a very interesting statistic to know. And I think that's really, really intriguing. And today I did play the SPY. We did play it bullish. I did get out way too early. It could have been a much, much better trade. But the time zone, here's my excuse. The time zone kind of threw me off because usually I'm used to seeing it say 2:30 and some change. And so when it said 3:30 and some change, I thought the market was already closed. You know, I had lunch. Everything was just kind of thrown off. You know, insert 14 other excuses that I could make for not holding the trade long enough. But we did trade the prey profitably. And what I'll do is kind of walk you through my thought process on the SPY and kind of give you kind of step by step what I was looking at doing. So realistically, this was a tweezer top right here. And I figured once it broke through that tweezer top, I was going to try to get in bullish. Not try. I set it up. So once that tweezer top came in, the high of that tweezer was 281.19 and 281.19. So I set up a limit buy at 281.19 with a stop at 280.19. So the stop was kind of down here. And this candle and this candle, the lows of those candles were 280.20, which means I missed the trade by a penny. Now, I know that SPY retests very, very frequently. So all I did was just lower the entry a little bit. So I put the entry pretty much at the exact close and the open of those tweezer bottoms. And what I can say is if this candle would not have triggered, which it did, but if it didn't, I was going to put the entry here and then lower the entry all the way down. Just because I figured it was down pretty far. We were into a really strong daily support, and I thought we would bounce. That was pretty much my entire, perspective. So once this little candle came in right here and threw in the trap, because our stop was 280.09, so our stop was down here. I initially moved it right about here, very, very, very small move, stop move, just so I could lose less than an R. And once it threw in that lower shadow, I moved the stop right below there. Then it started popping, and I exited on this candle right there. So we got a small win on it, but I did exit early. It actually would have been a solid R had I held a little bit longer. So I left about 0.8 Rs on the table. My target to get out of everything was 282.51 anyway. That's where I was going to exit all of it per the trading morning room plan. And it didn't hit that until after hours, and I would not have held that until after hours. So I would have gotten out for an R here at 282.09 is where I would have gotten out. But alas, that's not what happened. So now what? What do we do? So we had a really big sell-off, big, beautiful bearish gap down into a support. And my plan is to look for a retest of that support and then buy the dip off of that. So most likely we trade down a little bit post-market, kind of come down here again and kind of bounce. Keep in mind that Monday is a U.S. holiday, so the markets are closed on Monday. So I really don't expect that much trading to happen tomorrow. In fact, I probably won't even, I'll be in the trading rooms tomorrow, but I don't know how long we're going to keep them open. It's going to be a little bit of a lower volume day, Memorial Day weekend. I know my buddy Bob, the friend, my buddy Bob and his family's going to be hanging out for Memorial weekend. A lot of other people are. Brad has a friend in town. So I'm not expecting anything too crazy. But what I'm looking for on the futures and everything is just a trade back down to these levels, and then I'll look to play a long trade. That's really it. That's pretty much it. Jason says it's not a bad trade. No, it wasn't a bad trade. It could have been better. The thing that made it good was the stop. That's what was good. That if the stop would have been placed differently, this trade probably would not have worked. But yeah, I'll be watching the E-minis tonight, and we'll see how they move. So this is the 15-minute chart, and what I will notice is a double bottom on the 15-minute chart, a double bottom, and a retest of this neckline. So I'm actually seeing this as a compression, and I'm ready for a pop higher if we get it. So if I hop over here to the E-minis, and did I take an E-mini trade last night? No, I was trying to remember if I did. I set one up bullish, actually, and I don't recall why I didn't get in bearish. I really don't remember, other than I knew I had to wake up at 3 in the morning to catch my flight, and I went to sleep at like 10 p.m. I got home at 10 p.m. And I hadn't packed yet. There's my excuse. Okay, I was like, come on, there has to be some type of excuse. What can I say for why I didn't make money on this? Because this was obvious. This is exactly what I talked about yesterday, right? I said, hey guys, if it takes out those lows, don't be bullish. So these are the lows, and here's the other really, really strong lows here at 288.33. So anyway, once it broke that trend line, that was a nice little bear move on the E-minis. Arabia caught it bearish. It was a good trade, and we pulled right back into that support. So the thing is, last time we were here, we posted a little bit of a double bottom, and that's what I'm going to expect this time again. And we'll see if it works. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. What I can say is we definitely got stopped out on some bears, on some swing trades. Some other swing trades started working for us a little bit. So, time will tell. But I'd love for this to double bottom, and that would not surprise me at all. If we have a little bit of an inside doji candle tomorrow, and then later in the week, we just fill this gap. So we shall see. Bob says he got a margin call today. Oh, man. How was it? A good margin call or a bad margin call? Knowing you probably just closed out some other positions, and it was probably okay. But yeah, it really depends on how you're playing it today. I did not get a margin call today. I don't have that many put sales open at this exact moment in time. Although there are some positions out there that are a little underwater. I have a relatively okay balance because I got some bearish positions like on Google. I got the bear call spread. I have some Condor, some put sales, some bull put spreads, some shares. So Bob says he had to sell some positions, some for a loss and some for a gain. He ended the day break even. Honestly, man, I think that's fine. I think that's a really good way to play. It gives yourself, some ammo, some cash to get back in the game, plan for something for tomorrow / next week, and get ready to go. I think that's absolutely okay. I really do. So good job, man, coming out of that unscathed. That is a beautiful thing. And yeah, it was a pretty gnarly day out there. I'm not denying that at all. That gap down was brutal McGoogle. This thing was a lovely gap. It was a retest gap on the Dow Jones. It was a gap and go on the Qs and the SPY and everything else. I mean, just a really wonderful gap. Now, I had a trader ask me, could we continue lower? And the answer is absolutely. Absolutely, we can continue lower, folks. I mean, this is a great gap, right? We looked at the IWM yesterday and we said, hey, this is very sideways, high wave candle. Let's see if we can go lower. I'm just not going to be surprised with this particular market if we get a little bit of a bounce, sideways day tomorrow and a bounce today. All I'm saying is I'm not going to be surprised. So here's the SPY. Jason says bulls are still in control in my mind. I kind of agree, man. I mean, the good news is when we take out this support long term, we're just going to trade right down into here. We'll get a little bit of a bounce from there. You still have some buying coming in, but this is a bearish gap, and we can easily go lower. So just keep that in mind for my bull fans out there on a shorter term scale. Long term, absolutely. Bulls are still in control. This is a healthy pullback. I told you all this was going to happen when we had this retest gap back here in April. I was like, well, we're going to fill this gap. It doesn't matter. It's not a matter of if, it's only when we fill this gap. So that gap has been filled, and we are still inside of last week. So what's cool is this particular volatility is actually still low because you have this little pattern. You got some higher lows, you got some lower highs. We're still an inside a week. So next week we could pop again, bullish or bearish, and I think it's going to be bullish. Could be wrong, and I'm okay if I am. If we break these lows, let's go bearish into these long-term moving averages and see what happens from there. But I'm going to review some of our trades, and Mr. Squiggles on this one, I don't know how he does it sometimes, but he did it again on Maxar Technologies. The Squigster is real. Cheapers creepers. The stock I was just really upset about that was pulling back, and I was like, well, I can't really be that upset because I literally drew that it was going to pull back. When it was down there yesterday, I was like, man, this is exactly, where I thought I was going to pull back to. So we pulled back, and we can now increase our stops, ladies and gentlemen, on Maxar Technologies. So obviously there's no reason for it to take out the low of this candle, so we can go ahead and put it at break even, which is 659. Again, we did get stopped out on some other swing trades, which is kind of lame, but the good news is at least we don't get stopped out on this one. So Maxar Technology, take that stop loss, put it to break even, and fingers crossed that we can hit 1066 over the next few days. If we do get stopped out at our entry on Maxar Technologies, so be it, but there's no specific reason to have our stop any lower, any higher than that. So the 2-hour target on this one is 899. So if we can break above 899, that would be a really, really good win. Okay, stop movement. Stop movement. Okay. moving stop on MAXR swing trade. All right. So again, up 27% today. That was very, very nice. I also have QD on the list, but Seagate did stop us out, unfortunately. And ladies and gentlemen, truly, if I was in this trade and it was only me and no one else was in this trade, I would have exited at close on Tuesday, right at the close of market. The reason I didn't is because I always feel bad getting out of a trade and not letting everyone else know in advance because it was a weekly options newsletter trade. We were profitable. We were only up like 20 cents. So it was a very, very small gain. But my instincts was like, hey, man, this is too many white candles in a row. People are going to take some profit. You know it's going to retest, and it's hitting the 100 simple on a weekly chart. I just didn't have time to email everyone and say, hey, let's just close this for a very small gain. So all is well. We did lose, not a full R on Seagate, which is nice, but that one was a loss. And the ironic part is, I really do think we're going to bounce again tomorrow. Maybe not on Seagate. If it's not tomorrow, then it's going to be Tuesday, but I do think we have another bounce. I think today was another nice trap out there in the market. So Seagate got us. And then Dycom, man. So the thing is, with options, again, I love options and I hate options at the same time. We should have just gotten triggered into the trade today, realistically, and that did not happen. So we got stopped out of the trade today. If you traded shares on this one, you just got triggered in today. So if you traded shares, congrats. If you trade options, man, the implied volatility or something really, really got sucked out of those bad boys because that was an absolute waste of an R right down the tube. Beautiful gap, and I guess I'll play it with shares next time. So I'm going to write this one down for Tuesday of next week, and I'll try to play it with shares this time. If that's what it requires, that's fine. But just remember, U.S. markets are closed on Monday. I'm not going to be here. Don't be here. That's QD. And then, sorry, that's DY. And then QD, all these stocks with just two tickers. So QD had a little bit of a cute move today. The low of today was 738. We are trying to add a little bit of risk on QD at 736. So I'll leave that open, that order open for now. If it doesn't fill tomorrow, I'll just do another add and reduce tomorrow and just buy more shares at 7 and still keep our stop at 590. So if that doesn't fill tomorrow, we'll do another add and reduce, and we'll be able to buy more shares at $7 on QD. And adding shares and reducing risk. UXIN is like an app, it's just like a train wreck. So this thing, we're only in it for half an hour, and our stop is 0. So if it goes to 0, we'll lose half an hour. We haven't gotten filled in the other position yet at 199. And based on this candlestick pattern, I'm thinking of just lowering it all the way down to here. 139 for the other half an hour. That's what we're going to do. I mean, it's going to take forever to get down there, but it looks like the next blue apron. I mean, we're just going to try to keep picking the bottom and picking the bottom and picking the bottom. It IPO'd and did absolutely jack squadoosh. This thing is done beanstalk. $1.39, it's done nothing, but we are only at risk. If it goes to 0, we're only going to lose half an hour so far. The other entry will be 139 now. Updated entry for half hour of risk. And we'll just put it out there just in case UXIN can get a bounce. So we shall see. The other entry is 306. It seems it will take a long time for this to actually do anything. So just go ahead and start planning this as to be a hold that could take a majestically long event before it actually starts playing out. Joannis says after hours, it is up a little bit. Sure is. That is a nice little candle too on the on the chart. This is the daily chart, so it's at 228. You know, we can see what it does. I mean, tomorrow, if it gaps up and starts opening, especially if it opens above this double bottom, look how beautiful that double bottom is. So, I mean, as far as a day trade, we could trade anything. So, if it opens at like 2:30 tomorrow, and you want to day trade it long, sure, why not? But I will update that other half an hour entry to make it nice and low, and put it all the way at the bottom of that wick, just in case it comes down eventually and traps everybody. But this is going to be a snoozeville of a trade. All right, speaking of a non-snoozeville of a trade, Veritone, Veri. This is what this was my position and when I sang in chorus. I was the Veritone. See if this is going to pull back. Let's do a limit buy and then a stop loss down here maybe. 716 by 548. Pretty classic. Just buy off old support, new resistance. Old resistance, new support, that kind of thing. Look at this weekly chart. Going from, this was at 70 back in October. 70, it's at 7 right now. 878. Jeepers creepers. So yeah, let's start watching this one. So we have that set up. I don't think it's going to fill tomorrow. So if that still looks good, I mean, we can put the order in. It does look like it's doing something different than the market. And that's why I'm trading a lot of these cheapo stocks recently, is because some of them are doing things a little different than just the broader general market. So I heavily doubt that we're going to pull back that far anytime soon. But if it still looks okay Friday, I can make it official just in case it happens. Scott McKay says, I hope Tesla doesn't do that. Whew. Me and you both. Dude, if Tesla pulls one of these right here, I mean, I'm just going to have to go work with Ashley. I'll be out of a job. I'm just letting you guys know that now. If Tesla goes bankrupt, I'm toast for a little bit. It's going to be it'll be a rough summer. Albert says no hardwood floor. Oh, we'll see, man. I'm going to be buying some puts on the way down, but it'll be rough. It won't be great. Tesla coming around the corner. We're going to look at that in just a moment. Guardiant Health. So the thing is, here's what's interesting. I was looking at Guardiant Health to go bearish yesterday. Obviously, it wouldn't have triggered, right? Didn't ever break down. And you got this massive one white soldier coming in today. So that's a beautiful move. So looking at this thing right now, I mean, I was looking at going bullish or bearish yesterday. Today's a one white soldier candle with great volume. I would just flip it. If you're going to go bullish at this point, just get in above the high of this candle, the stop loss down here. This is very good volume, and just ride that bull wave on Guardiant Health if you want. The weekly chart still looks good. This was an IPO that IPO'd recently at 28 and is now worth 75 a share. Nice little resistance, and that's all I got on Guardiant Health. Look at this hourly chart. Yeah, kind of a nice little double bottom right about there. 74, something like this. That's probably going to trigger before today and tomorrow. But I had not planned on going bullish, so I have to wait 18 hours and come back and look at it and see if that looks good tomorrow. But if you have been planning it, I mean, something like that looks pretty adequate. 74.13 by 69.97 on Guardiant Health. All right, next on the list is Home Depot. And Home Depot, I was looking at it yesterday to see if it could kind of get a little bit of a bracket trade. And this candle had a pretty bullish candle today. Here's the 5-minute time frame, and the 5-minute time frame just went to Bulltown today. Bulltown, population, Home Depot. So yesterday, these two green lines were kind of my plan on maybe going bullish. And I still kind of like that if it pulls back. Home Depot is forming a good base. This is a nice little base, nice little area of support. To me, it looks like if it breaks all this resistance, it could retest kind of nicely. So yeah, if you were looking at and or planning on a Home Depot trade, I mean, realistically, it does not look that bad. Huge bullish candle, nice lower shadow, good volume. Here's your long-term averages, right? So we're just hanging out on top of both of them. Here's the weekly chart. It doesn't look bad, I guess is what I'm saying. So Home Depot, good candle, good volume. If you're starting to look to go long or you're planning on going long, that's cool. Good volume, nice location, buy a dip kind of a situation. Because if it breaks this low, I mean, that would be a good spot to either have a stop loss or have some protective puts. And that's pretty much it on Home Depot. Looks like a good long down there. CVS, we did have a bullish swing trade set up on CVS, and I can leave it open. You know, we haven't broken through the stop loss, and just in case the markets do go really bullish tomorrow, sure. 53.90 by 51.50 just to try to play this channel just in case it pops, right? Resistance up here, support down here, maybe it double bottoms and we get an R and some change at the top of that channel on CVS. That'd be kind of cool. So we'll find out. Jill said, we had someone here in Australia who bet $1 million on our election here last week. He lost and is probably washing dishes now. The polls said the party that won had just a 20% chance of winning. Wow. Wow. Well, I don't know the guy personally, but if he bet $1 million, I'm hoping he had more than $1 million. Because if I was going to bet $1 million on something, I would hope that I'd have more than $1 million on that bet. But yeah, people can bet on some crazy things. I'm not that good of a better. So if I'm playing sports or something, like just take the exact opposite of whatever I'm doing on most bets. Unless it's stock market related, I'll win that. But if it is not stock market related, just take that bet. So Jill, if you ever need to make money on a sports bet or something, just ask me what I think that sports team will do, and then just do the opposite, and then you will win. Yep. So anyway, CVS, we can leave that open for right now. I don't think anything crazy is going to happen on that one, so we'll just keep it open. Today is Transportation Thursday, and with the rest of the market, you know, Southwest gap down, and Southwest. By the way, I like Southwest even more. Do you guys want to know why? Ready for this? I'm about to blow your minds. If you haven't flown Southwest recently, ready? Here it comes. Here it comes. Free movies. Boom. I watched a free movie flying Southwest this morning. How cool is that? Now, I know a lot of airlines have that. I get that. But a lot of them, you're going to have to pay $5 or $15, unless it's international flight. You can get it for free. But this is just a regular old, you know, Nashville to Fort Lauderdale, free movies. It's not bad. New movies, too. They're good ones. Another great reason to like Southwest. Long term, buy low, sell high. It is slow. And Southwest just has a habit of this. I mean, you can see it trades sideways. Like if we go to a monthly chart, this thing trades sideways for eternity and then has a really nice run and then trades sideways for eternity and then, you know, nice run again and then trade sideways for a while. So if you're playing Southwest, if you're going to do a leap, I would go as far out as possible. So I wouldn't buy like a, you know, January 2020 leap. I would buy as far away as I could because, yeah, I mean, it's probably going to trade sideways for a little bit longer. But I do love the company. I love this area. I agree with you, Lee. This is a good spot to buy it. Long term. But yeah, it's just going to trade sideways for a little bit longer. So I don't have anything on this one. Chief, if you have some shares, I hope you're written out some covered calls on Southwest and making it happen. Unglal says, is this recent? I don't remember Southwest providing free movies a few years ago. They did not. It's pretty recent. To my recollection, I think it's within the last few weeks, because I was on a Southwest flight like 2 months ago and they didn't have free movies. So, yeah, I mean, you have to have the app. Like, you have to log into their app, and you don't have to pay for the Wi-Fi. It's, just connect to the Wi-Fi and you watch free movies. If you want to get the Wi-Fi, you can pay for the Wi-Fi and surf and whatever. But, yeah, it was legit free. Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. All right. Now, the exact opposite of Southwest Airlines is American Airlines, and they're down 1.4% today. Now, the interesting thing about American Airlines is we're going to want to start watching this, ladies and gentlemen, because as much as I don't like every other company other than Southwest to fly with, the charts speak to my heart. And American Airlines is about to pull into a recklessly strong support down here at 25 and some change. So like I was mentioning, I think, even if you just fly American Airlines once a year and spend $1,000 on flights, you just put $1,000 into the stock at these low levels, and then just have $1,000 worth of American Airlines shares, and it goes up to 50, and you can sell it. It's like, all right, cool, you get $1,000 back on your next trip. It could just be that type of trade. It doesn't have to be anything more incredible than that. It could just be that simple. Anyway, so American Airlines, I think, looks like you could go a little bit lower, but also is holding out strong. I looked at Tesla a lot last few days, and it did happen. Look at that. Even if it's just one day, which again, I don't know. I mentioned yesterday, folks, I do not know the bottom on Tesla. I hope it's today. It should be today, but it seems like it's too easy to be today, right? There's no way it just bounces from here, right? I mean, just trades down to the 100, just go and that's it. I mean, come on. If it does, wonderful. I mean, that would be great. Because Bob and myself are going to be selling some cotton candy if this thing goes down to $80. We're gonna be in the peanut industry. Yeah, I mean, we trade down and it bounced. It was a nice little bullish bounce. A lot of traders in some option sales down here. I get it. Let me move this over here. So the low today was a very interesting day on Tesla. I mean, that's really all I can say. Very, very interesting day. I'm gonna go look at it on the intraday level. All kinds of things are happening. So I had a buddy who he was wondering where to buy Tesla. He hasn't gotten in. A lot of people bought Tesla today. A lot. Elon Musk's winky face did the trick, and today is forever going to be known as the winky face candlestick. So perfect. I mean, you could not ask for a better candle for a bouncing location. You also, by the way, boys and girls, could not ask for a better candle if it's going to go lower. Because very similar to yesterday, when it closed below these candles, like, okay, well, definitely not long. So if you bought some puts and sold those puts at the 100 simple on the weekly, good for you. You made some solid money, and a few traders did just that. So now you have another line in the sand. The last quote-unquote line in the sand that I had on Tesla was back over here once it took out this hammer. And once this day came in, that was beautiful. And then these two hammer candles, that was the most recent one. It closed below there and went lower. So now you got it. Now you know. Tesla closes below here. Same exact thing as right here. If Tesla closes below the low of today, you're going to want to buy something that rhymes with a whole heap ton of put options. Okay? I don't know if it's going to close below there, and I really hope it doesn't. I would love to see Tesla succeed. I'm a big fan of Elon Musk. I love the vision. I'm all about it. It's a gamble. It's a risk. We all take that in business and trading and investing. But man, I'm all about it. And one could hope that we gap above the high of today. Now, the intraday thing on Tesla was really intriguing because this morning, a lot of traders were asking, well, what the heck is all this? And the answer was, that is people locking in profit. Buying to cover off of the 100 simple moving average. That was it. And again, as I mentioned yesterday, I had a buddy who had a limit order to buy at 190 and also to buy at 185. So he had a limit order to buy 5 shares at 190 and 10 shares at 185. And he's doing it through Robinhood. And his shares filled at 190, but he did have the it's okay to fill outside of after hours, or at least he thought he did. And I asked him, I was all excited because I thought he caught the pretty much the bottom. And he said it didn't get filled at 185. So anyway, he didn't get filled at 185. So then he went on to buy those shares somewhere in here. And I think so he's all in. He's in on Tesla as well. I think he has 20 shares of Tesla. So he's a brand new investor, first position he's ever buying. And it took me a year and a half to help him just buy that. So we'll see what it does on Tesla. I mean, it's a pretty low level. Julian has a 171.75 and a 160.165 bull put spread on Tesla. Nice. Very nice level. Unravel it if it closes below the low of today. Other than that, should be good to go, and we'll see what happens. Let me click on this link because I did not see this. Julian says, even with the extended daily, would you buy puts with a close below today? Yes, sir, I would. All right. Here's the leaked email. Tesla on track to beat Q4 2018 record deliveries. Claims leaked Elon Musk email. Oh, man, that's funny. An email reportedly sent by Elon Musk to Tesla employees to start making rounds online. Initially started on a Chinese social media forum that alleged Elon Musk email hinted at what could very well be a record-breaking quarter for Tesla with the electric cars, maker potentially exceeding its impressive Q4 2018, a period when the company delivered 90,000 vehicles to customers. The leaked email suggests that Model 3 production is at a steady 900 a day, resulting in 6,300 vehicles per week. The best part about this email, you know what makes me happy? You guys just see this, like, this is his Google, his Gmail button. It's just an EM. That's it. Just your good old vintage, never updated it. He doesn't have a picture of himself, like, kicking a door down or anything. He doesn't have a wiki face. No meme lords, just the EM. Pretty classic. Leaked email. This is what the winky face was about. Come on. We all know this. Wednesday at 10:45 p.m. As of yesterday, we had over 50,000 net new orders for this quarter. Wow. Based on current trends, we have a good chance of exceeding the record of 97,000 deliveries of Q4 last year and making this the highest delivery sales quarter in Tesla history. That's amazing. You guys do. So one of the cool things about Tesla is you guys do know they make all their vehicles to order, right? So they don't have any inventory. They have zero inventory. So when someone orders them, they make the car, and they get the car like a month later. But they have no other inventory, custom made to order cars. They're cranking them out. Yeah, some have issues, but some also don't. Anyway. Here we go, winky face candle on Tesla for the rest of your life. You'll forever know that's the winky face candle. May 23rd, 2019, and we'll see what happens from here. A gap up above the high of today, and I'm going long and strong tomorrow. Next on the list is Hawaiian Airlines doing absolutely nothing. Looks like a green bean casserole, just hanging out, trading sideways. trading down a little bit on the news that soon Southwest will be flying. Not soon. Now Southwest is flying Hawaii. And so even though Hawaiian Airlines is more of a commuter plane from island to island, it had its run. By the way, Johnny Guarco told me that it was going to do this over here in 2014 when I went to Hawaii, and I did not buy it. So that was dumb. But anyway, Hawaiian Airlines, big run up, big run down. It's about to come into the 100 simple on a monthly chart. So if you're going to buy some, buy it there. Otherwise, just keep waiting on Hawaiian Airlines. I think your best shot for Hawaiian Airlines is getting bought out by Southwest. Ferrari, RACE, trending very well. Looks good. So I don't really know what to say on Ferrari. I mean, it's just hanging out. It looks good. Look at this trend. Strong. How are their earnings? Strong earnings. Another strong earnings by Ferrari. They own so much. Strong earnings there. Strong earnings there. Strong earnings there. Strong earnings there. Strong. They're just continually getting strong earnings. The stock's just going to keep going. Would you guys rather buy a Ferrari or a Tesla? Throw it in the chat pane. What do you think? Would you rather buy a Ferrari or a Tesla? You have to pick one of the two. Which one are you going to buy? Bob has his answer. Bill has his answer. Lee. Uh-oh, a lot of people saying Ferrari. Everyone's saying Ferrari. Scott says Tesla once they are autonomous. Dude, they're close. Self-driving is legit. Like that is, self-driving is happening right now. The autonomous thing is around the corner, but yeah, it is very interesting. But everyone's saying Ferrari. I get it. I understand. As cool as a Tesla is,
different price point. A completely different price point.
Well, I get that.
Are you assuming that you have the money for a Ferrari?
I do have the money for a Ferrari.
No, I'm saying, is that?
No, just they're not that massively different of a price. I mean, a new Tesla is up there. A brand new Tesla is, unless you're doing a Model 3, it's
Tesla's just so much more far up the curve as far as like tech.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not denying that. Tesla's amazing. I would rather get a Ferrari though. Right now.
No,
yeah.
Want a Tesla.
I do. I do want a Tesla.
You almost bought one.
I almost bought a Tesla. I was very, very, very close to buying a Tesla. I was also very close to buying a Ferrari, though. It's close.
You're close to buying a Maserati.
I was very close to buying a Maserati.
Closer than Ferrari.
Closer than Ferrari. That's true. Damn. Albert says my wife will love me a lot more if I have a Ferrari. Oh, that's funny. Bob says, good luck insuring them. Ferrari or Tesla, Bob? You're probably mentioning Ferrari. Yeah, good luck. Ferraris are not, they do have an interesting insurance rate. That's the thing is, I used to work on those. That was, when I did the high-end cars when I worked at Nationwide. I worked on, helped settle auto claims for Ferraris all the time. Still, one of my biggest misses of my trading career was Ferrari. I don't know why I didn't buy that at 40. I won't go down that path, though. Don't worry. Every time I bring it up, like every single time. Anyway, trend looks good. Buy the dip. If you said that you would own a Ferrari over a Tesla, consider buying some shares of Ferrari. True story. If you would rather buy that over a Tesla, buy some shares of Ferrari. Their earnings have been strong. Every single earnings for the last year and a half. Own some shares because it looks like it's going to keep going up. Next on the list is Boeing. And Brad played Boeing for the smallest of wins today. And it was interesting because Boeing was one of the few bearish candles that was gapping down. So there was a lot of bull candles gapping down, but Boeing was not one of those. And Kind of moving over here. Boeing, nice little bullish high wave candle. Entry there, stop there was how Brad played it. And I did not personally play Boeing, but I would have exited everything right there, most likely. I say that now in hindsight, which is really easy to do, but I think you all know me. I'm quick to take an R. If I'm up a full R, I'm taking it very frequently. If it had broken down and got another bullish candle and traded side, like if this pattern happened here, then I would have continued to hold. But it just broke down and just ran immediately, and you're up like 1.2, 1.3. It's like, hey man, just take it, lock it in. Black candle gapping down on a blue chip dividend paying stock. So I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, Boeing, I think Niels might have a put sale on Boeing. A few people might have a bull put spread below the 100. All I can say is if you're doing a non-directional trade on Boeing, throw that 100 simple on a weekly chart in here and play it accordingly. But that is what I got on Boeing. Next on the list, we have Lockheed Martin and we have Raytheon. So Lockheed crushing. Lockheed. I mean, was this not an obvious Trump election buy or what? I had a lot of people ask me about the whole Trumpster Hillary thing back in 2016, and you all know I'm not very political. I'm the most ignorant person in the world when it comes to politics. I barely know what party anyone is in, but I do know that Trump getting elected, you had to be bullish on General Dynamics, Lockheed Martin, and Raytheon. Anything else? Sure, but those are the most no-brainer. Buy them, absolutely unquestionable. And those stocks have been wrecking it. So Lockheed not slowing down. Nice gap, retest gap, high wave candle. And I'd say if he gets reelected, stay long Lockheed, Boeing, and General Dynamics. Military contract companies, stay bullish. This little lower high is coming in. Whatever kind of wave count you want to give this, it looks pretty crazy, but hey, this is a nice correction. I mean, Lockheed Martin was at 360 and went down to 260. That's a 30% correction. Big old biggin. 30% pullback on Lockheed Martin, and it needed it, and it got it, and it happened, and now we're back off to the races. Lockheed could be $500 a share before too long. Same thing with Raytheon. I mean, again, Raytheon, most no-brainer Trump buy of all time, and just ran. Had a big pullback into the monthly 50. Weekly, oh, this is pretty. So weekly chart, we're very sideways, and daily charts, wow, look at this. I have not noticed this on Raytheon, and I feel bad. I'm not saying I would have done an iron condor on this one, but I would have done an iron condor on this one. I already can tell I would have gotten to a bull put spread here in March, and then maybe you would have gotten to a bear call spread over here, up here somewhere. And then on this big giant bearish day, I would have gotten to another bull put spread. That would have been my condor. I would have held that over earnings, would have worked out just fine. Didn't do it. Oh well. That is all I got. So let the sidewaysness continue. And when she bounces, I would assume it's going to be bullish. I would go long. Yeah, I would look to play that one long. RTN. We still have a few left. Orhoff. David Orhoff. OTC weed stock, and it's been running. 2017 to 2018 has been a money-making machine. This trend has been strong, made a new all-time high. It's retesting that new all-time high right now, and this support resistance looks mega obvious. So this support resistance right here is probably where I would look to buy it. Bloop. 780 and some change. That's probably where I would look to pop in. So daily charts on David Hasselhoff, trading sideways, bullish candle, decent volume. It just looks like it wants to have one little thrust lower just to make sure everyone's good and trapped. So I'd say buy it around, 760 and be long because that's the trend. Same kind of thing with Hexo, HEXO, a few people in this particular position. And, again, longer term, fundamentally, I don't know much about the company, but I just haven't done the research on it. I mean, it looks good. I just still think it should pull back a little bit more because, again, we just made a new all-time high, April 29th. And one of the worst traders I know in the world bought right there. So it makes sense for it to go down a little bit lower before it bounces. And, trend looks good. We could bounce at any moment on this one. But if you're looking at buying it, just kind of tiptoe in as you're in positions. What's interesting on it, and again, I kind of get a feeling just looking at the market that we're going to bounce tomorrow. The low of this candle was 654. Low of today was 652. So it just made a new low by 2 pennies, only to probably get a little bit of a bullish bounce. Bullish inside day candle tomorrow, and then, we figure it out from there and just kind of get a general idea of what happens. But yeah, that's all I got on Hexo. 3 more. ISCA. International Speedway Corporation. What is this? I mean, it sounds like a racetrack. Is this the Speedway? Indianapolis 500? Texas-based law firm. NASCAR strikes $2 billion deal with International Speedway, will gain a dozen tracks. NASCAR announced a $2 billion purchase of International Speedway on Wednesday, an aggressive move to gain control of key racetracks that set us up for sweeping. Yeah, I guess so. Wow, I did not know this was publicly traded. Interesting. Huh. You learn something new every day, folks. That is very cool. Well, Brad's probably in this one. Trend looks good. Monthly chart looks good. Weekly chart looks really good. So some solid volume is coming in. Daily chart looks like you got a great gap on good volume. This thing could motor its way higher. It's a beautiful gap, good trend, good volume. Let's put this on the list to buy the dip. Pull it up and throw it over here. Yeah, we can come back and look at this one. I'm game to see if we can pull back on this and buy some type of dip. International Speedway. ISCA. Nice. All right. Disney and then JD. So Disney had a few people. Number one, Steven Jackson asking about Walt Disney, if this is a good spot to buy. I like this doji, and I agree that most people think it's probably going to go a little bit lower, and I kind of agree. I do think it could go a little bit lower. I did go see the Endgame movie last weekend, I think. It was pretty good. I was far behind all the character releases. I didn't even know who Captain Marvel was. I'd never seen Ant-Man. I watched the last one, the most recent Avengers movie. Thor was pretty funny. Yeah, I won't give any spoilers, but it was a pretty good movie. I mean, it was, I don't know. it's entertaining, I guess. You're not walking away from the movie going, wow, oh my goodness, what just great content. However, the movies that Disney is coming out with is ridiculous. I mean, they already got, it was just advertisements after advertisements after advertisements of Disney movies. So I guess the question is just where is it going to pull back to and where is it going to bounce and where's a good spot to buy? And I think it could go a little bit lower. So I'd say probably 130. 130 on Disney would be a decent little spot to buy. But today was a perfect doji, more or less. So if it breaks above the high of that candle and you're looking at getting in bullish, that could also be something you could consider. And yeah, that's Disney. That's all I got. I do like it, Steven. The weekly chart, what's this weekly chart doing? Oh, nice. Yeah, 129 I think is going to be a good spot to buy Disney. A little bit of a lower move, a little bit more of a pullback, and then slowly grind higher and eventually go bullish. And last but not least, JD.com. So JD getting impacted with the whole China stuff, and it is just gapping around. Traded back down to the 100 and 200 simple moving average. Pulled to those locations. Good gap. Here's the 5-minute chart on JD. Yeah, this was a great gap today. I mean, very nice move. Wow, look at that trap. 2760, 2763. Oh, what a way to get punched right in the face for that before that rolled over. I did not see JD this morning. What an entry that would have been. Unbelievable day trade. Julian says that he closed his covered calls today. Beautiful. I think a lot of people did, just because, yeah, this is a big pullback. And again, love JD long term. It's just a matter of time before it goes higher. The big question, obviously, is just when will the whole China thing stopping an issue? Not that it, realistically impacts anyone all that much at all, but a little bit of a pullback and a bounce at some point. I can see it going as low as 2290. That makes sense. It could go down there. I mean, theoretically, it can do anything it wants. I'm just simply saying that would make sense. But based on this gap down, I actually like this little move. I like the long-term moving averages. And, if you want to buy another 3 shares down here, you could, and just slowly start adding to your position, buy low, sell high, and see what it does from here. Scott says that he bought his call back as well. Beautiful. All right. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, squad. That is it for me today. Today is Transportation Thursday. Tomorrow is Finance Friday. What do you beautiful people want to look at tomorrow? Tomorrow, here's what I got on the list so far. TUFN, GoPro, CFMS, Blue Apron, QD, VERI, GH, International Speedway, AXSM, eBay, Facebook, iRobot, Zillow, Square, NVIDIA, NVDA, Netflix, The Trade Desk, Square in there twice, Micron, Pinterest, Lowe's, PayPal, Momo. Beautiful. Can do, ladies and gentlemen, and will do. Bill, did we get your nephew in? Did we already get him set up with an email and Slack account and everything? Beautiful stuff. All right, Bill. Great to know. Thank you, everyone. You rock. And I'll see you all tomorrow. You'll probably get some good pictures, some good videos at some point over the weekend, so stay tuned for that. And until next time, love life, live life, and trade it. Bye.